Dumelang, Sanbonani, Molweni, Absheni, Goeiemiddag, of is it Goeieand, depending on whatever time of the day you're listening in from. All of that in multiple South African lingos means hello, or as we say in the mplyLebo Leadership Podcast, Eita, daar. Welcome to today's episode of the mplyLebo Leadership Podcast, where we explore leadership, workplace culture, and the principles that shape exceptional leaders. I'm your host, Lebo, and today we are tackling the issue that I have titled, or the topic that I have titled, Driving a Culture of Ownership and Entrepreneurship as a Leader. In a world where agility and innovation are key to survival, leaders must cultivate a mindset of ownership and entrepreneurship within their teams. But what does that really mean? What does that mean? How do you encourage employees to think like business owners, take initiative, and drive results beyond their job descriptions? Well, let's break it down a little bit. What does a culture of ownership and entrepreneurship actually look like? What does it look like? Well, a culture of ownership means that employees don't just execute tasks. They take responsibility for outcomes. They treat company goals as their own and proactively seek solutions to challenges. A culture of entrepreneurship encourages employees to think creatively, identify opportunities, and contribute new ideas, just as a startup founder would. Can I repeat that? A culture of ownership or entrepreneurship encourages employees to think creatively, identify opportunities, and contribute new ideas, just as a startup owner or founder would. Now, some key characteristics include the following of this type of culture that we're trying to unlock or unpack today. Here are a few characteristics. One, or the first, is accountability and responsibility. Employees own their work and its impact. Second, proactive problem solving. In other words, teams look for solutions instead of waiting for instructions. Third, innovation and initiative. What does this mean? It means employees are encouraged to test new ideas and take calculated risks. Fourth, customer-centric thinking. What does this mean? It means decisions are made with the end user or customer in mind. Number 5, results-driven mindset. What does this mean? It means the focus is on outcomes, not just activity. Activity is important, but it has to lead to a progressive outcome that will benefit everyone in the team or in the organization. So you might ask, how then do leaders, or can leaders, drive a culture of ownership and entrepreneurship? I want to offer a couple of suggestions. Number 1, lead with vision and purpose. Clearly articulate the company's mission and why it matters. Help employees see how their contributions impact the bigger picture. That's very, very important. The last thing you want, or the opposite of this, is that colleagues or employees show up every day, get up to their own devices, and just simply hope for the best. They are not driven by a specific end goal in mind or a sense of true purpose and true north, and therefore anything goes. If you're not aiming for anything, whatever target you hit is the right target, but not necessarily the target that will build the business to be sustainable and therefore to have a commanding position in the marketplace. Number 2, empower decision making. So once you have entrenched the idea of leading, honestly, this happens concurrently. So yes, lead with vision and purpose, but also empower decision making. Do what my own CEO calls decentralized or distributed leadership, right? Give employees the autonomy to make decisions within their roles. Encourage them to take calculated risks and learn from their failures. Number 3, encourage innovation and experimentation. Create an environment where new ideas are welcomed and tested. Reward creativity, even when experiments don't always succeed. That's why they are called experiments, isn't it? Number 4, promote accountability and ownership. I cannot overemphasize this. I cannot emphasize this enough. Promote accountability and ownership. In my team, we've started talking about the importance and the significance of extreme accountability or ownership. Shift the focus from blaming to problem solving. Encourage employees to take full responsibility for their work and results. Number 5, foster entrepreneurial thinking. What does this mean? It means encourage employees to identify inefficiencies and propose better ways of working. Support side projects or initiatives that align with the company's vision. So when your people bring an initiative or project that seeks to solve a problem that they've identified for themselves within, the business, that should be encouraged, not discouraged. You don't want to create a culture of compliance. You want to create a culture of innovation and where agency is encouraged, because that leads to creativity. Number 6, recognize and reward initiative. Celebrate employees who go above and beyond to drive impact. Publicly acknowledge those who take ownership and make meaningful contributions. Now, to drive the point home, here's a real world example, to offer you. Consider companies like Google or Amazon, organizations that are known for fostering a culture of ownership and entrepreneurship. Employees at these companies are encouraged to take initiative, propose bold ideas, and even work on passion projects that could become major innovations. Wow, think about that. On a more personal level, think of leaders who create environments where employees feel empowered to act like business owners. A great manager doesn't just delegate tasks. They challenge their team to take responsibility, solve problems, and drive results proactively. I want to offer a few practical steps as we wrap up today's conversation. A few practical steps to start driving a culture of ownership and entrepreneurship in your immediate environment. Are you ready? As we wrap up, here's 1. Encourage employees to think beyond their job descriptions. Ask them what they would do if they were running the business themselves. 2nd, provide opportunities for idea sharing. Come on now, leaders. Create forums where employees can pitch ideas and contribute solutions. 3, allow for small failures and learning. Foster a culture where mistakes are viewed as learning experiences. Number 4, give employees ownership over projects. Let them lead initiatives from start to finish. Number 5, support professional growth and development. Provide resources for employees to develop skills beyond their core roles. Here's some final thoughts, friends. Driving a culture of ownership and entrepreneurship requires intentional leadership. It's about shifting from a mindset of compliance to one of initiative, creativity, and accountability. When employees feel like their ideas, or their work rather, truly matters, they step up in ways that elevate the entire organization. Can I repeat this? When employees feel like their work truly matters, they step up in ways that elevate their entire organization. As we wrap up, here's your challenge for this week. Are you ready? Find one way to empower your team this week. Whether it's delegating a project, asking for their input on a challenge, or encouraging them to take ownership of an outcome. That's it for today's episode, folks, of the mplyLebo Leadership Podcast. If you found this valuable, you know what to do. Share it with a fellow leader and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, lead with vision, lead with empowerment, and lead with ownership. Eita, daar.